My name is Jeff.
Everyone abandon ship!
Stop breaking the law, asshole! Let's get salty!
All week long.
All rise, order in the court. Today is CPS findings day. Let's see if we like it. 900 people watching. We're missing something.
I think we are. Where are we at?
God bless. Welcome back. We got a case. We do this 5 days a week at 1 o'clock East. Jump around to some different courts. Mikey's got something pulled up. We'll go to in a minute. That's kind of funny. I hope your father. Bye.
I could almost hear you singing it in my head.
Let's jump into some court. Let's do it.
April.
Before Omar.
Yes, he did.
Great name.
Chris Liana has his last name, so did he sign a acknowledgement of paternity for Chris Liana?
No, sir. I just put the last name.
Why did you give her his last name?
Because by that time, I was not with nobody else. Like I said, I was around, and I didn't have no kids by the time. So I found out that I was pregnant by my daughter, and that's when I started changing my life.
Got pregnant by her daughter.
Interesting. Maybe that's why there's 900 people.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Mr. Jusino is the father of Omar?
Oh, Omar is his. Positively, Omar is his.
So the only one that you have a question about is Chris Liana.
Yes, sir.
And were you married to anyone when she was born?
No, I was not with nobody. I was a single woman.
And Mr. Collins, you said Joelle, so I'm assuming that's spelled Joel.
She lives on the streets.
Yes, Joe. Yes, sir.
And then Collins, and you said he lives in Philadelphia?
Yes, sir.
And where was Chris Liana born?
Hey, old man.
Christiana was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I will remind everyone, in most states, you can give a kid any last name you want.
Mr. Collins is about like 30 to 31, around there.
Oh, man.
And do you have contact with him by phone?
Yes, I do. I have contact with him by messenger.
Will you please send him the number for Miss Rivas so he can call her if he wants to know about this case? We will need to get his information, so have him call her directly.
I definitely will.
No further questions, Judge.
By the way, we heard earlier Anna is living on the streets.
The streets have her.
I don't have any more questions, Your Honor. Pass the witness.
She had a lot
Any other questions to the mother?
terrible excuses, by the way.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
She just likes the streets.
Mr. James, other evidence that you would like to present?
I have no other evidence, Your Honor. We rest.
Mr. Clark, evidence from you?
Just a homeless lady trying to get her
No,
kids
Your Honor,
back.
but I would like to request that if a attorney test is
to
gonna
be
done
confused by
on the daughter, that one be done on the son.
Oh, Val?
Unfortunately,
Maybe she's just a nature lover.
We need to have we
Damn,
need
Val.
Mr. Jusino to say that there is a question of his paternity with that son. Because right now, mom's testimony, she is swearing up and down that he is the father of that child. I can't order the state to pay for DNA testing just because somebody wants it done for another child. If he's questioning his paternity of that child,
The lie detector
then I
test
can order
determined
DNA.
that was a lie.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jusino, can you please unmute yourself, sir?
Christian's in.
Please
nice
raise your
car.
right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir, you can put your hand down. Mr. Clark, you may proceed.
So you heard the testimony of the mother in this case, correct?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. And you heard the testimony about her questioning your parentage of your daughter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did that put in your mind doubts about the parentage of your son?
Not at all, sir, because when we was together, she got pregnant and we had a little argument. So she left with her dad.
She got you in the eye pretty good.
With this guy, but she was already pregnant. So that she was telling that guy that she was
Our guy.
I guess he thought it was probably by him or whatever. She always telling me this when she
just
always
a second, Mr. Chisano. So that's in reference to your daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, so he has a couple of
What
kids.
I'm asking you is about your son. Do you now have some doubts about your paternity of your son?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so you are okay with just having a paternity test on just your daughter?
Yes.
You are the father.
And just to be clear, you are willing to provide the department any paperwork that that she needs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and were you trying to keep any of that paperwork away from Miss Jimenez?
Not at all.
Miss
I told her,
Hyman.
I went to the hotel. I gave her social security, and she was trying to set me up with the nigga she was staying in there.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. That is.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
One, you need to be very, very careful about your language while you're in court. That is
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
highly inappropriate. Two,
I apologize for that.
if you make any kind of statements like that again, I will remove you from my courtroom. And until you come back in and make a public apology, you will not be allowed in my court. Three, you need to answer just the question that is asked.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Clark, your next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. So did Miss Jimenez leave the home?
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't kick her out. She just left on her own.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when she left, she
Not good in court.
got into a hotel, correct?
Or anywhere.
Yes,
Nowhere.
sir.
I don't know
Okay,
nowhere.
so you didn't leave her homeless. She had some place to go.
Yes. Well, she I guess she knew this guy. I don't know how long, but she went with him to stay in a hotel after she left.
Okay, so basically she found someone else to be involved with.
I guess
Just,
she did.
just from what I've heard, Creed.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
I like to depict the beautiful, outstanding area that Anna's living in now.
Mr. Justino,
Yes, sir.
I just gotta
That's a
ask you,
beaut.
all right? Are you mad at my client because she's with some black gentleman?
Not at all. I'm not mad at all.
All
I'm
right.
mad at that fat. Oh, but I'm sorry. I just answered the question. I'm sorry.
All right. And so that said, is there going to be anything preventing you from getting her her documentation so she can get a job and those things?
This podcast is racist.
ASAP?
Yes, sir. I tried to give it to her. I gave her Social Security, but I can't find her ID because she always leaves the stuff around. I'm trying to find her birth certificate because I know it's where the urine paperwork's at.
So, and just to be clear,
Where's this
you didn't
kid at
destroy
right
her
now?
Things, did you? Because you're angry with her?
Not at all.
Right. And you didn't destroy her thing because she or her documentation because she's with some black guy.
No.
All right. So how soon can you get her things?
I had to make sure I heard what I heard.
When I finish court, I gotta head to work, so maybe by tomorrow.
Okay. And if
William
you find
heard
a
it.
place where you guys can exchange those things in public,
Loud
you'll
and clear.
do that and make that happen as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions for him.
Mr. Messer?
Does he look like a bitch?
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Hardy?
Talking about Dave that way?
And Mr. Jusino, just to confirm.
Dave, thank you for the $2. Make me holla.
Yes.
$2 cash.
Did you believe that you did sign a document called the acknowledgement of paternity for him?
I believe, I don't remember.
But you believe that you did sign paperwork at the hospital when he was born?
Yes, I think I did. I'm not sure.
Okay. And you agree that you and Miss Jimenez are not married?
Yes.
And you were not married when Christiana was born?
No.
And
Your Majesty, I'm sorry.
you didn't sign an acknowledgement of paternity for her, is that correct?
No, not at all, because I was in jail.
Okay.
He's not. I don't feel that good about him right now either. I mean,
No, I know she's mine.
Not at all.
Are you asking this court for a DNA test on Christiana?
Yes, I could take a DNA test. I could prove it.
Mr. Jusino, that wasn't the question. The question is do you yourself want a DNA test, or are you just willing to take one to prove it?
Yes, I'll take DNA, Miss Your Honor.
Miss Your Honor.
Miss Your Honor, that really didn't answer your question.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions?
Literally less than 10 minutes into this,
No,
and I can see why there's 900 people on here.
Really?
I get it.
Any other evidence?
No, Your Honor, I'd just like to apologize on my client's behalf. He's
sorry, Dion.
Someone who's grown up on the streets, so it's language he's used to using. I don't think he meant anything racial by it. Your Honor.
Look at William's face.
Your Honor, I object. Mr. Clark doesn't have any idea what this meant.
Yeah, quite frankly, it was just totally inappropriate. It doesn't matter whether, how, or why. Is just
Mr. James then stepped away for a second. You're gonna see him come up behind Christian in a second.
Again in my courtroom, he'll be removed.
Your Honor, I was just trying to apologize on my client's behalf.
And then you got roasted, so
the court knows that I'm sincere about that. Nothing further.
I understand that you're sincere.
Yeah, he'll be apologizing for him.
All right.
I apologize
Any other
for all of it.
From anyone? Okay. Mr.
Sorry.
Lockett, I'll hear from you.
Judge, I just, the kids are doing fine. I don't know where we're headed. Certainly, we're trying to work to resolve something within the family, and hopefully there's still an opportunity for that. We'll just, I guess, need to resolve the DNA test on Christiana first, and go from there, Judge.
Okay. Argument, I'll start with Mr. James.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to remind the court that my client is willing to do what the court has ordered her to do in regards to getting a job, doing her drug testing. She can't do those things without her identification and comply with those things, those terms in her parenting plan. And as far as complying with the paternity testing and getting that information, I'll make sure that she does that as well. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Clark.
I'm sorry, did you say my name, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Mr.
Okay.
Clark.
Were you yelling at me again, Your Honor?
Your Honor, no argument, Your Honor.
I got nothing to say, Your Honor.
Mr. Messer.
Judge, I do. Order DNA on the child Christiana and Mr. Jusino. This case has been going on. Next week will be 1 year. Nice of mom to come forward today and bring that up. And we have a jury trial set in September, and we've already had an extension. So that's going to be a huge problem.
I'm guessing the people in the bottom right have the kids right now.
Yes. They're headed to a jury trial. If they don't get something worked out.
Yeah, before they put on I swear.
See their rights terminated.
It said something placement.
These kids are going to be left up in here. That's where this case is headed based on this debate. We're not drug testing every week. When they are, most of the time.
Yeah, she is.
they're getting in domestic violence issues. Mom doesn't have a house to live in. She just tells us,
Or a pot to piss in.
Someone else not be the father of the child. This case is a mess, and the losers are going to be these children.
100%.
There's not much time left for them to change what's happening here.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes, Judge. We were not asking for any changes today. We were just, really looking at getting an update on placement at a temporary hearing in August. Now I'm worried that if a paternity test is ordered, it might not be back in time. So, of course, that's gonna, throw whatever bridges in the making that it does. But I definitely still ask that you go ahead and set a temporary hearing in August, because I would like to be able to give a court an update on what's going on with Miss Jusino and her husband.
Mr. Hardy, I can
wanting to change placement to.
I can solve that for you right now.
And do anything else regarding the kids and the jury trial setting that we had at that time. So I would like to get something else on the docket before the jury trial date in September.
So they need to go ahead and just test all the kids before we start placing them with anybody else.
No, I just moved you into breakout room 1. I'm going to take the attorneys and the ad litem into the breakout room after this hearing, and you were in a different breakout room, so I'm moving you. It was just me. I don't want you to join it right now.
Okay, Your Honor, I didn't want to refuse an order from the court.
They're going in there and talk shit about you, Dion.
I didn't know that it would notify you. My apologies.
Poor Dion's not having a good day today. Not a good day.
Worst.
All right, the court's going to find that there is a continuing danger and approve the current placement. If the parties can agree, which they may not be able to, they may need a court's order about placement with the relative. I'm okay with that if the parties can agree to that placement, before then. But I'm going to set a
2 or 3
hearing on August 16th of 22, and the next permanency on September 7th of 22. The court's going to order DNA between Christian Jusino and Chris Liana. Jusino, make a finding that Christian Jusino is the father of Omar Jusino. And Mr. Jusino, the department's you need to keep in touch with the department. I understand that you may not be living at that place anymore, or if you are still living at that place, if you change your residence, whatever, make sure that you keep in touch with the caseworker so that they can get you notice, and
keep in touch with yourself.
Can get you notice of when that DNA is scheduled for.
I used to have that same goatee that Christian
done immediately so that we can get it signed and try to get it back. And we need to also have Miss Jennifer get in touch with the coordinator for the DNA and let them know what an emergency this really is to get this DNA done.
Oh no. Oh God.
Mr. Jusino, you said you're currently working?
Yes.
Mr. Jusino, are you currently working?
That's what it says, yes, sir.
Where are you working at?
I'm working at Belton at First Baptist Church on Main Street.
What are you doing there?
I work maintenance.
Okay. And how much are you making, sir?
I think I make every 2 weeks around 900.
Okay. And are you still living at that apartment in Temple or in Killeen or wherever it was?
Yes, in Killeen.
Okay. Do you have the ability? Does anybody remember how much those DNA tests were?
They're a couple $100, Judge.
$2 cash. Any child support, and I've ordered it before, but you haven't paid any child support. Do you think that you could come up with a couple $100 to?
I mean, Your Honor, I could try it, but I've been in a little situation because my car got taken. I had to pay my bills, my rent, and then plus and
taken or stolen
because she was still getting high. That's why she was fighting. She wanted to leave, so that's why my money was a little.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. If you can, Mr. Jusino, try to
This
come
guy.
up with it.
Objection.
But I'll talk to the attorneys in the breakout room.
Is Ice
in
Sweet
just a minute.
smoking?
We're scheduled also.
He's trying to hide it.
Ordered drug
Out
tests
the
on
back door.
Yeah.
UA and hair follicle.
Caton.
Caton, what's
I'll
up?
order UA and hair tests on both of the parents today. Both of the UAs need to also be for spice. I know that the hair tests do not test for spice.
For spice? Did she just say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
In
It's like
regards
a test
to,
dirty.
client getting drug tested, is that going to be a problem since she doesn't have identification?
The department will verify her identity.
No, it's
Yes,
for the
Your Honor.
drug test.
So, Ms. Rivas, you'll have to identify her.
And he needs DNA test, and his car got taken.
Hopefully, we have some answers in August.
No, I don't
we'll be
think
in
so.
Recess. I'd like to see the attorneys in the ad litem and breakout room 1, please.
You're
About
in regards to the
about a
temporary order.
hamburger bun in the oven.
Oh, the DNA test was only a couple hundred?
1-6.
Mhm.
And the
The
permanency
permanent
was.
is September 7th.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. For everybody else, we'll be in recess.
Well, I can see why they bring it.
Yeah,
That's-
it's. I mean, let's face it. I'm not trying to talk bad about Anna or Christian, but neither one of them need these kids. If they're in foster care, as bad as that can be sometimes, it seems like probably the right place for them, especially if they're both on the drugs, as the judge said a while ago.
See, I thought she was hanging out the bathroom too, but that's outside to outside.
Okay.
Behind her. See, I think she was smoking.
Uh-oh, William and Christian about to get into it.
Yeah, let's have a talk too.
Mr. James, can you join breakout room 1 with me?
I haven't gotten a prompt yet, Your Honor.
Oh, you have to go on there since you've already been in the breakout room.
Oh, okay.
You have to rejoin it. I
Okay,
can't
there.
invite you.
Sometimes you see some really interesting things when it's just these couple
yeah,
people.
that's because then their guards down, you know.
Yeah.
She cutting it.
Judge is a not bad looking lady, older lady. While we're looking at her face, Creed, I want to take you to a courtroom in Kentucky.
Okay. Were you here when I played Everybody's Rights?
It's so
Do
weird.
you understand that if you are unable to afford court costs, you can ask the court
76
to waive
degrees,
any fines
mostly
or costs you
sunny
have to pay?
skies in Kentucky.
Yeah, come on up here.
So-
Let's talk about it.
While they're talking about that, so this judge has full control of this. And she's sharing her screen. She's jumping from thing to thing. When she plays a recording of her talking, giving everybody their rights and things like that before they go live, it's a real cluster F over here. I mean, that's putting it mildly. I don't think she has an idea what's going on, and neither does anybody else at any given time.
About 300 to 400 with water nails you need.
And you said you have 2 children
Yes, ma'am.
and you're making 500 a week, 400 to 500 a week. I'm going to waive everything that you owe. Okay.
How many
Whoa.
Finding that you are what's
Yes.
considered indigent by the court.
Yes.
Particularly because you have 2 very young children to care for.
Waiving all the
So you
fees.
do not owe anything. You do not need to come back.
I don't know if we're
okay?
even supposed to be hearing
All
this
right,
or
take
not.
care. You too. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Because she has no idea what she's doing. 1 minute we'll see a courtroom, a bunch of people, then we'll see her
No,
putting
one
her
of
hands on her neck in
It's
a
going to be more
choking
than
manner.
just costs. It's going to be fines and costs. Thanks. Just let me know. To Erica Alps.
Well, you check that out for just a minute. I'm going to BRB.
Yeah, like I said, very interesting concept here.
Okay.
I don't think they've gotten Zoom court down yet. They've only been doing it for, I don't know, 2 years
That's
now.
no problem. We'll go to October 5th at 1 o'clock. And hopefully you'll be able to
Yeah,
get
she
all of that
was.
worked out by then. Okay.
She was
Thank
walking
you.
around.
If you happen to see Chris Schultz, will you tell him we've got a
Oh, is
file of
it?
his to be called?
This is our first look at this Kentucky courtroom. This is not putting their best foot forward. Terminator, good to see ya. And you can hear her typing. I mean, one of the most lackadaisical courtrooms we've been into in quite some time. Yeah, they waived everything they owed, which is like, wow. If you owe anything, we're going to just waive it. Court costs, fines. Yeah, and like we'll see screens on screens sometimes over here. Exactly. Thank you. Dave, I watched some of your videos last night, and I told Creed, I said, I watched some of these videos last night, and I'm still trying to figure out what they were about. But I did like all the sound effects and stuff, because I like that kind of thing. I might be able to attend to Chase later. Guess why? Power. Okay, so is it a failure, or are they cutting it off?
Just a moment, please.
This judge is a real professional. This is the courtroom. I feel like we might hear a fart if we stay around long enough.
Miss Haley, what can I help you with? No, I don't see you on our docket. Let me look.
There is video. Just
No,
I don't
you
know
have
what they're
court
doing.
June 22nd at 1:00.
Oh, June 22nd?
Yes.
That's the judge talking, by the way.
Sure, no problem. Better early than late, right? Thank you. Have a good day.
No problem, buddy.
Okay. That Finch guy had 2 cases, right?
Yes, the other one is on the 302.
No, I just saw her seconds ago.
3:02 at 1 p.m. Okay, all right.
She was even showing cleavage in one video, which was like, well. Oh, the humidity of it all. I completely with that. Denise, you're too kind. Do you have any friends, like 1,000 of them, that could feel the same way? If so, you know what to do. Go ahead. Go get some shots in your knees. You know, brag about those to us. No, you don't need to refresh the page. This is it.
Why does this camera keep turning off?
See? Told you.
The camera on me, it's so weird.
See? Told you.
I'm trying to make sure this is all tight. I know.
She has no idea how to use this. See? That's what I'm talking about. This is like no courtroom I've ever seen. Like, we see everything she does. It's so crazy here. It's so hot. Judge Kelly Clarkson.
Mr. Detil, have you had a chance to speak with a prosecutor yet?
Yeah, my client said they were in 302. I tried to log into that meeting, but I guess you're sitting in 302, but I don't know. I tried to log into the 302, and they said,
You're right.
You gotta go and talk back with you. I think I probably know what's going on.
Yeah, we just hold afternoon court up here, so when prisoners are left over, everybody's not moving down 2 floors. It's just silly to move 2 floors.
Just make me a co-host again.
A young Paula Dean.
You know what room they would be in?
A young, less racist
I'll
Paula
put you
Dean.
in a room. Well, here's the problem. They're all here in the courtroom except Casey Holland.
Yeah, I don't even know them anymore, so I wouldn't even know.
See, it feels good to
In
watch a
case
bigger
Nolan's not
cluster
on
F
Zoom.
than
Is there
our show.
anybody on Zoom to talk
Oh,
to
this
lawyers
is a
that are on Zoom?
complete.
Yeah.
I don't even
There's
know
still
what they're
one
doing.
pro se person and 2 lawyers.
She just picked her nose.
Huh?
Vincent, he might let you go, but
That's
not
all I
me.
did.
Oh, wait a minute. You're a member. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what it's here
Barely.
for.
I bet he got it
But
for
either
free.
way, there's still 2 people there waiting.
Effing freeloader.
Bailiff is there. Bailiff is just hanging out. Yeah, Judge has got some knockers on her.
What are you trying to join?
You want to join the courtroom? You can probably do that pretty easy. Join the chat. You've already done that. Become a member. Well, that's only on the Queen's Bishop Show channel. I don't know which channel. Look at the bailiff. He's like,
hey, he's just looking at the cleavage.
Christopher Elliott.
You're right. If somebody farts in that courtroom, though, you're going to hear it.
oh, hello, Christina.
Why are we passing these again?
Oh, good. 20 minutes. We're going to see a court case.
Yep, bailiff's on the move.
Number 2 time.
Is this an attorney or a somebody in trouble?
I think he's in trouble. I'm pretty sure.
Who's the co-defendant? Pardon?
Nice cleavage.
That's done. I just don't want to pass it again after that.
Maybe she's single and looking to
It's a
me.
very quick pass date. Let me look at how many we've got that day.
That guy's got a very weak rat tail going on. And the guy behind him is a swayer.
Baldy moving good. Real quick, while we got a second, I just wanted to let
It's
you
a
know
really bad day to add cases on.
that we have
Is there some reason the co-defendant has to be on the same day?
we've really upped things back into the 50s now, maybe even the 40s. You guys didn't even know they had Zoom court back then, did you? Well, they did.
Stay here. I want to hear something. I kind of like that courtroom. Oh, wow. Look at that gallery.
Why do
back
they have
there.
to both be on the same day to do that?
While they figure that out, we'll go back in
Right.
history
So-
and see how courts used to run.
On for pretrials and all of these matters. Mr. Green, what's our status?
Your Honor, I'm hoping that before we have court next week, that I can have a global offer from the people to present to Mr. Shipman on all of the
Shipman.
see if we can get them resolved.
Tell you, things are weird back in the past.
How dare they speak like that in
Well,
front
that's
of
agreeable to
Judge
the people, Your Honor.
Fagadol?
Right, so then the request is to put these over to
Dave, $2.
Tuesday would work. That way, if there is an offer between now and then, and I'm healthy and can go visit him, I can visit with him at the jail.
Healthy?
And we can see if we can come to a resolution on.
Great. We're about to hear about this old guy's ailments.
That's correct. Okay, so Mr. Shipman, I'm going to find good cause to continue the pretrial. for all
Mr.
these matters
Shipman.
to Tuesday, June 28th, 9 a.m. Bail remains as previously set. Should you make bail, you're ordered to be personally present that day and time. All right, and we'll have you here in person on that day.
Thank you, Dale. They used to have to pay $2 back in the day.
Mr. Action, are you ready on Mr. Patterson? We are. All right, people versus.
I thought the Keystone Cops had brought him in for a second.
All right. And Mr. Green, if we have any misdemeanors.
Oh, I see.
I
somebody
see
sitting
ya.
Back there waving at me.
I see
I can't identify who it is on the screen.
Right.
It's Creed and Mikey.
You have to go, Mr. Green.
I do if I'm going to make my test, yes.
What's your name, sir?
I got a diabetes test coming up.
Come on up. We're going to
I've
call.
been fasting all night.
Mr. Patterson for just a second. We'll call Mr. People versus Todd Gutierrez. Case number 183. Yes. Present in court. You've already heard Mr. Green's appearing by Zoom.
Yes, Taco.
Who's
Heard it all today.
Elizabeth Walden for the people.
All right, so we're here for a pretrial. This is a DUI case. Mr. Green?
I'll defer to Mr. Gutierrez. When's a good time for him to come back, or to Ms. Waldo? I'll accommodate both.
Waldo
Before we do
and Gutierrez.
Mr. Gutierrez is on scram. Any issues?
Did you try to pronounce his name yet? Imgri?
So what date would you like to come back, Ms. Waldo?
No, I have not.
In a couple of weeks, Your Honor.
IMGRE.
So how about July 5th or 7th?
I did try the judge, and that didn't work out very well.
Either one works, Your Honor.
Would that work?
Yeah,
for you,
we'll
sir?
stay away from that.
I'm going to find good cause to continue the pretrial through July 7th at 9 a.m. You're ordered to be
Need
personally
any
present.
comments
If you
coming in here
are
saying this
still
podcast is homophobic.
See if I could speak.
Your
Honor.
I'm having difficulty doing jobs and working because of the scram device, because I cannot put on my boots to weed eat. I currently work for myself, and I'm losing jobs because I can't. I've been turning them to other friends of mine because I can't do it. And my main thing is because I need to make income in order to do these classes.
That don't need to be
Signed up
drunk
for
to work,
DUI
Your Honor.
classes, which I start tomorrow. I have my assessment, and I believe I have my first class
So-
tomorrow afternoon as well. But I'm scared to be able to provide. For
He
my
wants his
family
scram
and
taken off, which is the
as well.
sweat
How many other
analysis
people do
one.
you support?
Say again.
How many other people do you support?
My two children, well, three technically, but he lives with his mother, but I still help support him as well. But I have two that live with me as well.
Right. Does your significant other work outside the home?
She works in home mainly. She just got a job that is outside the home. Only
She got a
one day.
YouTube channel.
We started
No,
as
it's in
well.
court.
Ms. Waldo?
Kay, they used to be on Live PD.
Thank you, Your Honor. When Mr. Gutierrez was stopped by the sheriff's
I
deputy.
mean, I hate to be an asshole, but he
called
said he
with
couldn't weed eat
.20
because he
and
couldn't put his boots on.
.21,
I
and
weed eat in
that
flip flops,
would
so
Oppose modifying.
not a good defense.
Any comments, Mr. Green?
Pamela, I don't know how that works.
Your Honor, I think he's done
I
well.
don't think so.
I've spoken with Mr. Gutierrez. I believe
Hell no.
it will be resolved when we come back to court, and I think he could probably do without the scram. There's alternate ways that they can test him if they need to.
So based on the fact Mr. Gutierrez has been on supervised OR since May 9th with no incidences, I'm going to order the scram be removed today so you can help
Appreciate it.
support your family.
Upper courtroom.
I will order that you be subject to random alcohol testing by probation. And should any of those tests prove positive for alcohol, then
What a lie, though. That says upper courtroom,
Mariposa.
so then we'll come back. That was
but yet
July
the
7th.
camera says lower
Personally
courtroom.
present, and you'll be given a referral to go over to probation, have the scram.
What a ripoff.
Appreciate it. Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a drink on me tonight.
If we have any other matters, Mr. Green, we'll put them over. All right, then we'll do Ms. Patterson.
I mean, I Googled Mariposa Supreme Court and it comes up, or Superior Court. Is that what that said?
Remember the porn star we had on named Mariposa?
And it says California. This is just not
So we've got the matter of People versus Kenneth Patterson.
look like
case
California to
number
me, but I think it is.
17932A. Mr. Patterson is present in custody with his attorney, Mr. Action. Mr. Awama is appearing for the people.
Let me search the
He
judge's
handed
name.
a waiver of rights and plea form. So it looks like we have a resolution. Mr. Awama, you want to tell me what that is?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's my understanding the defendant's going to be pleading guilty or no contest to count
Just
one.
to give you an idea again, look at
I
this.
have that document for you.
Stay over there.
Have a seat.
That is California, by the way.
When your paperwork's ready, and you'll be good to go. Thank you.
Attorney with the guitar behind him.
Darnell
I mean,
Hamilton.
we're in a basement. Wow.
Hi there. I'm okay, thank you. Okay, so this is being waived to the grand jury. It is your motion for work release, job search, treatment release with extended hours. And what is the county's position?
Wow. The whole county?
All right, those releases will be granted. Grand jury week is July 8th. Thank you.
Maybe one day.
We strive to. Oh, nice boot. See that guy?
Yeah, kick ass. There's a guy on the front row. If they show, he has beautiful hair. What there is of it.
Terry Hall. Hi,
Just
Mr.
remember-
Hall.
a
I'm
disaster.
fine, thank you. I've taken a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you. And your
Oh, yeah.
bond on this case is going to be released on your own recognizance, condition that you remain abiding by all the terms of what the program that you're doing now. If you'd like to write this down, we're going to come back August 17th at 9 a.m.
I like how you can see who's in the waiting room. Nathan's iPhone is that Nathan?
And
Elliott?
you'll see further down that page, it says Public Defender's Office and has their phone number. When you get a chance, you should give them a call either later this week or early next week. They'll be able to tell you who your lawyer is. I want you to treat it just like you hired a lawyer. Make sure they know where you are and what's going on, okay? All right, take care.
Yeah, back neck tattoo. Well, he's in a hurry to get out of there.
You could keep it down just a little bit.
Hey, shut up. The bailiff didn't even say shit. The judge had to say something. I could hear them talking.
Yeah.
But I was like, what is that feeding over? But it was just loudmouth attorney and client. Is that Julia Kate?
Well, she plays with Candy Crush. We'll check back in here.
responsibility. So I believe he's going to be a good candidate for this. To make the
I'll be.
So, Mr.
Yeah.
Patterson, I've been Rodriguez. Go by Rodriguez Patterson. All right. So I'm sorry. So, Mr. Rodriguez Patterson, I've been handed the felony waiver of rights and plea form. First of all, did you have enough time to go over that form with Mr.
Yes, sir.
Do you need any extra time to talk with him about anything that's on that form?
No, Your Honor.
Right. So do you understand what's on the table here as far as negotiated
Do you think that
Is it
picture,
their
the
plea
painting
to
behind the
felony
judge is of
assault
the
with a firearm
courtroom we're in?
that, and admit to the two enhancements, causing great bodily injury and using a firearm, that there'd be a lid, meaning that's the most you could get would be 8 years in state prison. You could get less. I could place you on probation with up to a year in the county jail and a variety of terms and conditions. But you understand that if probation's not granted, then you're looking at 8 years in prison with credit for time served.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on this.
I see the
form,
resemblance. We're about
those
the
your
same
initials
age.
On the right-hand margin of each page of the form?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature? 2/3 of the way down on page 6 of the form.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the court will find the defendant's made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his constitutional rights.
Trust me, we've
I'll
talked
order
about
that
it,
the form
Pebble.
be filed with the court.
Just don't think it'd go well.
So Mr. Patterson, as to the charge in count 1, a felony violation of Penal Code Section 245, subdivision A2, assault with a firearm in this county on or about August 23rd, 2021. What is your plea?
Those are the microphones.
Receipt to take.
That thing right there in the
those
middle.
videos.
One, to count 1.
That's the
That
microphone, I
alleges
believe.
pursuant to Penal Code Section 12022.7, subdivision A, that you could personally inflict a great bodily injury upon Logan Stone. Do you admit that allegation?
I admit.
And as to enhancement number 2, to count 1, pursuant to Penal Code
She said
Section
it.
12022.5, subdivision A, do you admit that you personally used a firearm in the commission of this crime? All right. Satisfied with
that.
those admissions, Mr. Wellman?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will accept the plea and the admissions. Count 2 is dismissed on motion of district attorney. Date for sentencing.
Blueberry muffin?
Your Honor, I would ask for July.
Your Honor, I'm going to actually request if the people in the probation, the court don't have any objection, to go to August 9th. Reason being, I would want to put together something for probation so the court can actually take a look.
Bowberry biscuit.
Oh,
What Mr. Rodriguez is about. So between letters and folks coming forward.
Time waived for sentencing.
Time is waived, Your Honor.
All right, any objection, Mr. Wellman, August 9th?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so then, Mr. Rodriguez Patterson, I'm going to find good cause. I'll set this sentencing on August 9th at, you want
I
that
know.
at 9 o'clock or 1:30, Mr. Ashton?
9 o'clock.
Not when it comes to a blueberry
Set
biscuit,
August
though.
9th at 9 a.m. for sentencing. I'll have you here in person. Bail remains as previously set. Should you make bail your order to be personally present that date and time. What's going to happen next is somebody.
I thought it was over a second,
will come
too.
over and talk with you, get some information. They'll all
Like a 3-year-old child.
package that they'll have you fill out. I'll need to make some findings at time of sentencing about firearms, whether you own any or not. All right. Anything else, Mr. Action?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wong?
No, Your Honor.
I like this courtroom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, I do too. Yeah.
Includes the custodies. We're going to take a 15-minute break.
All right. Well, we'll see you in 15 minutes there, Judge F.
Judge RF. Good to see you.
Where? Ugh. No.
It's the Bowberry biscuits bringing them in. That and Creed's Candy Crush joke.
And my bread in a can.
That too.
Oh, God bless you.
Is there a microphone in her bra?
No, it's that big, colorful thing.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, all the judges have them. It's got to be.
That's a good guess. I hurried up and tried to eat it before we came back here because I knew she'd smell it.
Did you say, did you bring enough to share for all of us?
I can make fat jokes because I'm fat. Some of the rules.
I believe the rules are. You're
Well,
certainly welcome to file an
he
objection.
knows the
to
rules
have
too.
that clarified, but that's the way I believe.
Okay.
In other words, we
then,
can't hear from
you know,
what, we can't hear what,
I'm sorry.
the minor statements are generally speaking, are not going to be able to be admitted. The reason why I didn't have an issue with him making the statement to the doctor is because those statements are carved out of the hearsay rule. It would be hearsay, except he made that statement to the doctor, which fits in that exception because he made it for medical treatment purposes. In the way you've set this question up, it's the minor telling you something, which is different.
Hello, Buck.
Well, yeah, it's something he told me as opposed to what he told his father and the story.
Well, that's not even
It
the
was
issue that
first
I'm
that-
taking. In
yeah.
either circumstance, whether he's telling it to Mr. Thompson or you, generally speaking,
Mr. Thompson.
They're
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
the way I've seen this is the statements he's making to you or Mr. Thompson in this context, those are hearsay. The statements he
Okay.
made to the doctor, that statement was not, those are not hearsay. So that's why there was no issue. And I wanted to clarify that now because if someone reads this transcript, they're going to wonder why I didn't take issue with it earlier, but that's why.
Thank you for the clarification, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm a little lost. I can ask him if Aaron changed his story, that I can ask him that question.
Creed, you know what they say about women
You
with
could ask him if he changed his story.
tongue
but
piercings?
What he said.
Okay.
I
Changing the story
don't
is
know. I
more
only
of
know
a-
Adam the Woo.
Comparing something. It's not necessarily.
I'll tell you off the
It's
air.
based on statements, but we're not going to get into what we're
Got
saying.
something to do with oral relations.
Right.
You can ask him if he changes.
I already thought that about Adam the Woo.
He can answer that part.
He does that too.
Tongue piercing.
Okay.
So cute.
So I can or I cannot ask him the question. I can barely.
Mr.
hear
Thompson,
you.
did your son change his story?
Not really. It's been pretty much the same story. I can't tell you what he said, but it's been the same story, Mr. Hagan.
Okay. I have
It's a close, Captain
I
Hadley. It's
have
a
an exhibit
racist
that
podcast for
states
dummies.
that he changed his story because he said Brian did it.
It would.
Autographed by RF himself, by the way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this alleged statement made? Because if this was in a, I don't know who.
I need to know the statement now. It must be a good one.
I'm working
Yeah.
here. Okay. It starts with this message, and text messages. Do you recognize?
Did she just say
me?
sex?
This is a fucking burn. I weld for Christ's sake. That's where this starts. And then it goes to why would Theron say his other daddy put it on him? So he's claiming that Theron said that Brian did, and now he's claiming that I did it.
I think they're saying somebody's a vampire. That's what I'm
Number
gathering.
one, I don't see. I'm trying to find these texts you're referring to. And the other part is, which may clear. That's why I was asking. It may clarify some of what the
Oh, you know it does.
hearsay would be, just because these statements might be what Mr. Thompson's saying, not necessarily what he believes the minor says. But I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you.
go into that
Oh, look,
right
she's
now.
holding it up. Oh my God.
I don't. I
print it out.
apologize.
Let's go back
like I
to
said,
cluster F court, because whenever we get into something like that,
I don't want to hear about anything bad about children's.
No.
I understand.
Mr. Datillo, Mr. Greenwell is standing here in front of me. I called the case and Mr. Holland alerted me that you actually are here for him.
Right.
We have passed this many, many times for plea.
Yeah, Judge, most recently, back maybe a couple of years ago, he was in the penitentiary or otherwise
Is
incarcerated.
the microphone in the other room?
And a bench warrant was issued, I guess, to act as somewhat of a hold, but he was released from custody. And he recently, I think,
Is that the guy that was in the basement and now he's got some?
So that was the situation. And then I think before the penitentiary, I think he was in rehabilitation. I think completing lengthy program over. So yeah, I agree that he
So you are representing him? Okay. All right. So is October 5th a good day for you?
Let me see. I don't have anything for next 6
1
months.
p.m. again.
We're gonna do, I guess, are you doing most of these in person
2021 Pamela.
It doesn't really matter to me how you appear, Mr. Datillo.
I won't be wearing pants.
If you do or going, I'm gonna write on here must enter plea or set for trial for the next date. And if you are gonna do a plea, that's totally fine. Either the way most attorneys do it is if they are gonna appear by Zoom and their client's not, they'll have their client bring the paperwork. Or if you're both gonna appear by Zoom, you can either e-file the paperwork or you can send it in beforehand.
It's a bad day when this lady's giving you Zoom instructions.
Okay. Yeah, no problem at all.
Really
All right.
quick, I just want to bounce over here because
We've captured Lord Voldemort finally. Harry Potter, you're free to go. Don't worry. Everything's good.
Okay, so Ms. Clay, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to follow the recommendation to revoke 15 days in jail, but I'll give you credit for 2. But what I'm going to do is close this case. I don't think it makes any sense for us to keep this open to continue to monitor. And frankly, it doesn't make any sense for me to keep it open to impose consequences if you have a subsequent law violation at this point, because you're looking at significant consequences if you have another violation of a no contact order, where it could very well be filed as a felony. They may not give you the benefit of that amendment to a misdemeanor. So I think
no dibs on video court,
future's
Fletcher?
already set in hopefully getting treatment. And I think the potential consequences of subsequent law violations are already laid out there for you. And it doesn't really make any more sense for us to keep this particular case open to essentially pile on. So I'm going to impose what I think is an appropriate consequence for that violation, but I'm just going to close this case and put this one behind you. Okay. Focus your efforts on getting the treatment that apparently you need. And then of course, abide by the new practices that are in effect. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions at all for me, ma'am?
No.
Okay. Best of luck to you. The orders will be coming over the printer from the officers for you. It's going to include all the information that we just talked about. And it's also going
one of those
to include your attorney's contact information. So let me just also make it clear on here so that you know, and if you show these to your attorneys in your other cases, they'll know that the case is closed here. So any other cases that you have.
Is Flannel in the dentist office? She's in a dentist chair.
Okay. All right. Take care, ma'am.
Thank you, Honor.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you for not killing me with your mind.
Do we have somebody crazy coming in? Because I heard the sounds
Ah!
Creamy, were you able to
Was
get
she
the
missing
breakout?
arms or were they inside the shirt?
inside the shirt, I hope.
Your Honor, I guess that was somebody else, same kind of last name, but
Oh, okay.
That was
they're-
terrifying.
Yeah, they're working.
Flannel's got a
they're
flannel
working
on
the
because she's
breakout
tattooed
with
head to toe.
Mr.
Did you see her?
Funes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a good,
All right.
could be a
Thank
good
you,
thing.
Honor. Thank you.
That's hot.
Who, this one just sitting down with a third nipple in the middle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thanks for covering that up for me.
He knew he was turning me on.
Actually, if you look at flannel, it almost looks like
Mr.
she's
DeBrum is next, Your Honor.
Okay.
like
Kramer
she's sitting.
DeBrum, 280-319-764.
The dentist.
New citation on defer on probable
Getting a
cause.
cleaning.
Will acknowledge receipt
I
of
was almost saying like a children's chair that you feed them at, with a little tray and stuff.
Yeah, a
like
high
that.
chair. Yeah.
Yeah, like a high
Answer
chair.
the charge. He also has a copy of his rights of arraignment. Didn't have any questions for me after reviewing those. Stated that he understood them, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. DeBrum, sir, I reviewed this, and I did find probable cause. So we'll enter plea of not guilty to the charge. The city is not objecting to your release on your promise to appear as long as you have no new law violations and abide by a no contact order that's already in place. It looks like it's a no contact order.
Okay, yes.
I believe it's Thurston County. Yes, a Thurston County case. Mr. Griffin, were you able to inquire regarding public defense appointment?
Yeah, he
Hi,
is
Alex.
going to screen for a public defender, Your Honor.
Hi, Alex.
Qualified just based on information you're able to.
He would not, I don't think, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. DeBrum, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to release you on your promise to appear. So our cases are heard either virtually like this or in person. How comfortable are you using technology to appear in a virtual environment?
Pretty damn comfortable.
Have you done that before? Do you know how to use the Zoom application, or would you rather just come?
Yes,
I've sexted a lot on video.
You know how to
yes.
use it? Okay. So
Yeah.
would you prefer to
He's got it
appear
going
like
on.
that, or would you like an option?
So you guys think we're all on the same level.
I can do it like that.
Okay. So what I
I
will
can't do it like that.
I will schedule you for a Monday morning. That's the day that's
Alex.
reserved for people who are either representing themselves or have hired.
With iPhone?
If you
The murder is going to happen here soon, I think.
Include the information on how to screen for a public defender. You just call that number. They can have that conversation with you.
We found some
If you
weird
don't
ones today,
qualify
haven't
and you
we?
decide to hire private
I
counsel,
think they're in
that's
a
the date and time that
dungeon,
you're on that Monday. And even if you haven't had a chance
cargo
to
ship.
work,
You wanna
on
stay on
the
here for a
research,
second? I'm
that's
gonna
the date and
run
time
real
that
quick.
you zoom
Yeah,
in,
stay
so
right
we can
here.
Figure out a plan going forward. If you do screen and qualify, your court date may change. So it's really important that you engage in a conversation with the person that you're screening with and have all of your contact information up to date. So the Zoom information will be on the paperwork that the officers print for you. Your next court date is going to be July 18th at
Well,
10.
say so.
You can zoom into the virtual courtroom and engage with the court just like we're doing right now. We have to bring you to trial by September 19th. While the case is pending, of no law violations.
That's a
make sure you
horrible
abide by
camera
contact
angle
orders that
for,
are in effect and keep your
iPhone.
contact information up to date. So the number for you to screen for a public defender is on the form. So it'll be printed out. It says, please call this particular number to inquire about screening for a public defender.
Or
You're
a
not
giant
required to do
wooden
that. If you
crate,
decide to
perhaps?
hire counsel, then you can do that as well. Do you have any questions at all for me, sir?
No.
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right. So you'll be released today with those conditions. And again, hold on to the notice that the officers print for you, because that will be the only notice that you receive. In other words, we're not going to send you something in the mail to remind you or call you. That will be the only notice. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Call the court if you have any questions. Thank you.
Like
All right.
this video right
Thank you.
now. Do us a favor.
Your Honor, Miss King was a refusal, 909711299. That's just said it tomorrow.
Oh, that was the noise we heard. Miss King didn't want to come in.
For tomorrow. Trying to see if she's got any other cases with us.
I have a Mr. Thomas who is actually at the hospital, but they do have an iPad available.
I signed actually a release for Mr.
Okay.
Thomas.
All right, good. That's what I just wanted to make sure. They said that was, they wanted to check on him. Okay, I did talk to him earlier and we'll let him know about his court date.
Yeah, I think we sent it over there to score. Hopefully they can get that to him. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, Irina is inked
Candace, it
up,
looks like,
baby. Oh, she inked up.
Miss King has a case in Auburn. If I can get to the docket fast enough here, let's see.
Maybe she likes being all natural. Very good chance, Rachel. that she was being held in what appeared to be a wooden crate. Maybe she's hiding out. Witness protection. I like that idea. Oh, here comes another sexy man with his V-neck on. I love the V-neck. Yeah, she was in an adult high chair. First I thought she was at the dentist.
Direct appoint public defender and just schedule her for tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Griffin.
Next is Mr. Kanash, Your Honor, 280389952.
Okay, so we do have private counsel on the line, Mr. Karimi for Mr.
Okay.
Kanash. Did you want me to, Mr. Karimi, put you in a breakout room with him first, or
I
how
think
did
it would
you
be
want me to?
helpful, just, yeah, if possible, just for a couple minutes.
Let me see if we have 1 second.
Ransom demands coming up.
And Mr. Karimi, did you get Ms. Lenz's email on her recommendations for this?
I did. Thank
Okay.
you, Your Honor.
All
Yeah,
right.
so I know it's a quick, they're recommending a PR. I just, procedurally, I wanted to talk to him about
Sure.
if he's released. And,
I don't know. It's a beautiful, deep,
And Your Honor,
plunging
the
V.
order's ready on key.
Thank you.
They're just moving them in and out here. Yeah, she's got some real nice tats she's covering up. That's tats. I don't know why you think I said something else.
So Shawnee King, 909712299, direct appoint public defender was, she is rescheduled for tomorrow after refusing.
They
Your
are
dad will be right
here.
back.
Mr.
Your
Kanash
dad went out to check the
in
traffic and weather. He'll be back.
room,
Promise.
And
Okay.
we're going to do the breakout room.
Excellent, thank you.
It's so quiet in here right now.
Thank you, officer, appreciate it.
Oh, doubling down.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're gonna put
Two at a
Mr.
time.
Karimi and Mr. Kanash in a breakout room. There we go, thank you. All right, Mr. Griffin?
I'm ready on Mr. Moore, Your Honor. Andrew Moore, XE0080072.
Captain, good to see you.
Moore.
On warrants today. I'm getting released on my C-Tech today too.
Okay, good.
That's for
He
emergency.
missed a pretrial hearing. It looks like he has conflict counsel. I am asking the court to release to an out of custody date, Your Honor. He had some issues with the Zoom application, and then he did try to call in, but he had some issues there. So it sounds like it's maybe a technology issue. But nonetheless, I am asking the court to give him another chance to show up out of custody. It sounds like he just got released on his CTAC. He was letting the court know.
Woo,
I'll also
somebody's
give him
getting
the name for
mad.
The hit and run, Your Honor.
As long as this guy didn't
All
headbutt
right,
anybody,
Ms. Moore,
we're
taking a
fine.
Look at hit and run. So,
Getting
Mr.
wild.
Moore, the city is asking me to set bail, and I'll tell you why. But then we're going to talk a little bit here because I'm going to follow the recommendation to release you. But what I want you to know is that I don't think the city's request is necessarily unreasonable. But I'm going to give you that chance because I do understand technology can sort of wreak havoc in your ability to get to court. But I do want you to understand the sense of urgency. Okay, the case is getting older. It's from February of 2020. The city attorney has said that you've only appeared in custody on this. You've had some other holds. You've got some FTAs, some bench warrants, some serious criminal history. So the city attorney believes that you're a risk to fail to appear and is asking for bail. Again, I don't think that request is unreasonable. However, I am going to give you another chance to appear. So
Thank
that's my lecture for you this morning. There is a
Thank
sense
you.
of urgency that
I like
you
the
own,
girl.
okay?
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to put
flannel,
on this order that if you fail to
Irina,
appear, I'm going to
It's
order a
really
warrant.
part of the
Okay.
cruise
There
now.
won't be this.
That's why she's
sending
got
you
that
a text
tattoo,
at some
full
point
body
reminder to
tattoo
come.
going on.
So let me just
Entire
take a
body.
look at who we have representing you because I want to make
Ass and
sure
all.
all the information that we give you today is up to date because I know it's been a little bit since we've seen each other.
She heard us
But I'm gonna
making
have you
jokes,
come
so
in
she's now
person.
got
Does
this.
that make more sense for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I found out she's in the
Attorney
Yakuza.
State. Good. Okay. So
Mystery
you failed to
solved.
appear in February. So it's been a while. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Moore, is this. I'm going to release you on your promise to appear, but I'm making a fairly quick turnaround unless you have some other holds. Are you being held by anybody?
No, I'm getting done with all my holds today.
Nobody touching my nuts.
You're going to be released today, and we're going to make this a fairly quick turnaround. Just makes it easier to remember when you're supposed to appear. I want to
Okay.
avoid seeing you like this again.
Okay.
And I'm going to include on the order Mr. Stave's contact information so that you have his contact information. The court's contact information is on the order as well. So
Yeah.
you're coming in.
She can't get her
on a
camera
Monday
right.
in the afternoon.
I mean,
So
she
the
messed with
afternoon,
it. She
if you
shouldn't have
want to
messed
get
with
to
it.
the
That's where she messed
is
up.
that's a calendar where we have people coming in person. Okay.
Mhm.
So come see me in person. Where do you live when you're out of custody?
I live in Canton.
Okay, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, great. Now she ran away
Do you
from
know where our new building is? Because I don't know if you've been to our older building, but our new building is just on
Look at Candace, the bailiff up there,
street from the light rail station.
keeping order in the court.
So come see me June 27th at 2:30. That's real quick turnaround.
Okay.
Yes, that's next week. Perfect.
Next week.
Come see me next week. Show me that you can make it on your own because that's the promise here. So
Yeah.
see me next week, and then Mr. Steve will let him know that you'll be coming in.
This judge is super nice,
and
though.
The information about the warrant is on there. Just have no legal law violations. Don't drive unless you have a valid license and insurance. And
She
then,
stole them from the bodega
remember that I'm not going to
from
send you
the
something in the
convenience
mail
store she
or an email or
went
anything
into.
like that. Any reminders? The officers are going to print this information for you. Do you have any questions at all for me?
No, I don't. I'd like to say
Okay.
thank you.
All right, I'll see you then.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It looks like you guys are ready on this.
Steuben.
Is that do you have
Steuben
any
County.
I do, but I can wait.
Okay, all right. It shouldn't be too long. All right, so Mr.
No, how nice of him.
Kareemi, looks like we've got Mr. Kanosh in the studio.
Not yet,
It
Alex,
is
not yet.
on for pretrial. I did review the report. I did find probable cause. I'll turn the floor over to you.
Mr. Honor, thank you. I did go over his rights at arraignment, and he understands them. I explained what he's being charged with. We would waive formal reading. We're asking the court to enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, so Mr. Kanosh, sir, will enter a plea of not guilty to the charge. We've obviously got the issue of counsel settled, so I'm going to ask Mr. Kareemi a date and time that works for him, and then we'll presumably find a date and time that works for you a pretrial hearing. Mr. Kareemi, do you want that to be virtual?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And
Nothing.
Is it, if I recall, Tuesday afternoon?
One big shirt.
No, we're Monday morning.
I'm a child, please.
Monday morning?
Yes.
So yeah, any 30 days out or.
Okay. Candace, I'll let you
What
find
can I
one
say?
that we can schedule, and then I'll run it by Mr. Creamy to see if he's available that day. But the city is not objecting to your release on your promise to appear, Mr. Kanosh, but they're asking for a no contact order. But I do believe that we need to have at least a discussion about that. So let me hear Ms. Umbanetti. I think you've had a chance to speak to the alleged victim in this case. If you wanted to weigh in on behalf of the city. Or on behalf
Fun
of-
fact, Dansville is where we remember the time when Stoney pulled into that gas station. I say, that's the old Buckhorn truck stop, the old Buckhorn
So,
restaurant.
ma'am, did you want to address the court?
No, I'm fine actually. He's a good guy. I don't have any questions for him.
Oh.
He's not dangerous.
She's
It
Russian.
was like happened like family drama.
Did not to see
And
that's
I'm not
coming.
sure it's not gonna happen again. He's alone here. I mean, he don't have a family here. Me, same. We just each other put together, and we just together, you know. And I'm just
He's
want
crying.
to ask you like for
Oh, he is.
delete the contact order if it's possible. Give some chance for us.
Okay, so you're not asking for a no contact order.
Yeah, I don't want to do contact order. So yes, please, if it's possible, don't do this. I want to help him, and I'm already find the lawyer, and so I just want to. He's a good guy, you know, like he not like abuser or dangerous or something. It was happened first time, and I'm so sorry about this. I think
What's she sorry about?
we're gonna change something. We will remember this, and
Well, let me ask you this. You've had a chance to talk to, obviously, the expert in this, Ms. Umbanetti. And did you, through the course of that conversation, learn how you can protect yourself in the future if you feel like something like this could happen?
yeah, there was actually for sure. I'm
Like
fine.
Dave.
Nobody was beat me. We was together. Was pushed.
Dave coming in hot
Other
again
days,
today.
that's
2
why,
days in a
like,
row.
we call
Love
the
it.
police, and it's happened like family trauma, as I told you. So yeah.
Well, and I understand that. I think it's just important for you to understand that you do have resources available to you. and you have, the ability to seek emergency orders if you need help. But obviously, Mr. Kenosha is now charged with a crime. If you ever felt like you needed some sort of protection through the court, that you can immediately contact the city attorney or Ms. Zambonetti, and then the court can hear if an order is appropriate. But you believe at this point that you've had enough of a conversation with Ms. Zambonetti and your own resources to for the court to not issue a no contact order. Is that correct?
So yeah, I don't need the contact order. I just want to talk with him, like help him, and have a conversation with him for future, for sure.
Now, you mentioned that he doesn't have any sort of family or extended family in the area. Do you have that in the area?
Yes, ma'am. So he have a mom and sister, father. They all in another country.
Sister.
So he's alone here.
Sister.
So that's me and him, and we together.
He is
All
showing.
right. So, Mr. Kenosha, I'm going to release you on your promise to appear. So you're going to be getting written notice of your next court date. And then, of course, Irina, who's on the line, is going to hear.
I'd be
about-
crying too if I couldn't be with
She's
Irina.
always welcome to join in the virtual hearings if she wants to continue to talk about the case or at least to observe the proceedings. Your conditions are this. I'm not going to issue a no contact order today. So that means you can have contact with her. However, I'm going to, instead of
You know what
issuing
I'm talking
a
about.
formal no contact order where you can be arrested just by communicating with her, I'm going to order that you not have hostile contact with her. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So hostile contact can be even as much as a loud argument. So if you are disagreeing with something and
But Your Honor, whenever she talks to me,
communication
it's
with
like she's
her,
yelling at
or
me.
whether it's verbal, physical, or
She upsets me every time she speaks.
you must
Yeah.
remove yourself from the situation, okay? Even if you think she's the person at fault for the rise of hostilities in the household, you must step away because the court has jurisdiction over
Step
you.
away.
And for you to remain out of custody without posting bail, for you to remain without having a formal no contact order, you just have to understand that you cannot have or engage in that type of behavior with her while the case is pending, okay?
I got it. Your
Now,
Honor.
remember, if the police are called because the neighbors called because there's a loud argument, and if you're still at that location, it can result in a sort of a snowball effect of consequences. So it's very important that there's no hostile communication, and that you
Nothing but love.
peacefully
Sweet,
amongst each
sweet
other until the
love.
case is resolved, and that we have a better understanding of where the case is going to go.
Sweaty, moist love.
Now, I'm looking at a court date of possibly July 18th. Does that work for you, Mr. Karimi?
If he is, he played it well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Kanosh, we're going to set the
I mean,
hearing
obviously he did
for
something.
9:30 or 10:30.
Either time is okay.
I don't have a job.
9:30 works. Your Honor.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and schedule for 9:30 on that day. So the officers are going to print this document for you. You're not going to get any additional reminders. I'm sure Mr. Creamy will stay on top of it, but I just want you to understand that they're going to print something for you that includes Zoom information so that you can Zoom into court on
The
July
diddler,
18th.
everybody.
We have a tentative jury trial date set out in the September term,
Look
so
at her
we'll make
hand.
sure that it's scheduled
Thank you.
within your right to a speedy trial. Again, just have no new law violations, no hostile
She's
contact.
just getting ready for him to come
I'm
home.
printing
Yeah.
or the
Warming up the oven.
for you. And then, ma'am, just stay in contact with Ms. Zambonetti for
Preheating.
information about court hearings and resources available to you. Do you have any questions, either one of you, for me?
I think that's
Well,
it's gonna be
she's-
free
she-
today. I mean,
she-
Yes,
Yes,
to be
she-
released today.
okay, thanks. That's all I need. Thank
Jelly
you.
coming in hot.
Anything, Mr. Cooney, before we wrap up?
No,
Because
thank you
of
very
dirty.
much, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. Good luck to all of you. We'll see you in July.
Nah, you know what? I believe this dude. He really broke down, and he's been going the whole time. He's got a full face mask on.
All
Look,
right.
I don't want to sound stupid. For a second, I thought Irina was maybe like a court reporter. She was constantly
Mr.
writing.
I
Sadie
thought
is
so.
here, Your Honor.
Yeah, I didn't think she was there for that.
204-0276.
Yeah, I had no
He is
idea.
on for arraignment, Your Honor. We'll defer on probable cause. We'll acknowledge receipt of complaint in this case, wait for formal reading, enter plea of not guilty. Went over the maximum and possible minimum penalties, nature of the charges, no questions there. He also has a copy of his rights and arraignment in front of him, stated he understood those and no questions on those.
Oh, I
as
don't
well.
look at that
I
email.
would ask the court to
Alex.
appoint counsel when we're all done. He does automatically qualify, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Mikey
So
keeps
Mr.
up with
Saylor
that,
will
though.
enter plea of not guilty to the charge. We'll
Joke's on you.
direct appointed public
Another
defender to represent you.
failed-
Mr. Kanosh, you can actually knock on the door and let the officers
Another
know that
failed
you're
one,
done, sir.
Alex.
Okay.
Okay. And then, Mr. Seeley, I reviewed the
At least you
report.
tried, though.
I
good
did
try.
find probable cause. So the city is asking that I issue a no contact order, but they don't object that you are released.
Good.
Although I do see that you've got this bench warrant in King County. Let me just take a look at that real quick. Mr. Griffin, do you have any information on that? Bench
Mine
warrant?
ends with
He was
AOL.
unaware. I think it was a blood draw that got filed later. So
Oh,
we
I
can talk
see.
about
Okay.
that.
Wait, so I don't know if they're going to
You've
serve
got
that,
mail.
which means you might. I don't know if they have you stay there or if they book you into King County. I don't know if what's going to happen. But just make sure you reach out to
Well, he almost had a Latino one.
report
so I
about that.
guess.
It looks like it's a pretty low.
Okay.
Yeah.
She had a
warrant,
penis
yeah.
too, I heard.
Yes, I
So,
didn't- excuse
sorry,
me.
go ahead.
Just won't admit
Sorry,
it.
Your Honor. Well, I just didn't have a valid address at the time, and I was trying to take care of it at the same time. So
Okay, sure. So do we have good contact information for you now? Because when we update our contact information, all the courts get it.
Let me see what we have. Address.
Thinking about that. He's like,
Yeah.
do I really want them to know my address or what?
Address.
so that's the old address.
Oh, what's your address?
I had to give my mother's address since all this happened.
So
You know, because
Yeah,
I'm
does
in
it follow
jail
his
and
mother's
nobody in
address?
jail
That's
has their own
where he's staying
address.
because of no contact order.
Yeah.
Or we want that? Or we want
do you
both?
have an email?
Yes.
Is that just as good as an address? Okay, well, sure. Got
BOY
10 of them. Which one you want?
206 at yahoo.com.
So
Yahoo!
what we're going to do is include that email into the system so that if courts are struggling to communicate with you, they can always email you. That's how we will send orders to you. It just is a lot easier if you're able to get an email that sticks with you.
Yeah, he would admit
instead
it.
of an address.
Pretty sure.
Now, the city again is not objecting to your release. So I'm going to release you today.
At least that's what everybody in
Are
town
you
said.
comfortable appearing in court with technology, or would you prefer to come in person?
Probably with technology.
Have you used the Zoom application before?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'll do is this. I'll schedule you for an afternoon hearing on the day that your attorneys are in court. That gives you the option. So the afternoon calendar is what's called a hybrid calendar. So we have some people zooming in, we have some people appearing in person. So at least gives you the option. Once you're released, if you're able to determine how to use the Zoom application, you can zoom in.
I'll send you that.
If you cannot use Zoom and you have no other option, you can still come into court to appear to avoid a warrant. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so all of that will be outlined on the document that the officer print for you. Just keep in mind, this will be your only notice to hold on to this document. It'll include how to access the courtroom as well as your attorney's contact information. And while the
Yes,
case is
please like and remember we do this 5 days a week, starting at 1 o'clock East. Chases and cases 5 days a week. Taco Tuesday / 2 for Tuesday, and we got a chase coming up. Going over Miss Fink, right?
Yes,
I
the
don't-
Fink star.
Yeah, he didn't.
Check
need
in with
to-
her as we get ready to wind
I
on
think it's
down.
been arranged.
And we're doing some praying, Creed.
Oh yeah, it's
So
praying.
they're both failure to appears from the same date, I think.
Yes.
He's hoping.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge
Assistant Public
Fink
Defender
falls
Hannah
over dead.
Apple appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Pippin. Yes, it is my understanding that there are both failure to appears from March.
There's my dog barking.
Initially from March on the driving matter, and then I know there was more recent ones
Creed slips away again.
on the other matter. Regarding bond today, I have explained to Mr. Pippin the court's policy regarding bond. He would like the court to be aware that at the time of the most recent failure to appear in March, that he was in an inpatient behavior center dealing with some other family related
That's why
issues,
you went down
and that the court had the wrong email and phone number on his file. He is employed at 2-man and 1 truck, and he does live with his 2 brothers. He did indicate to me that he had
No,
been
he
in
just got
contact
a
with his
dono on,
attorney via email on this matter, but as I discussed in length with him, the court's policy regarding those bonds that were set, and that those will continue.
So, when were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital, Your Honor, I was in the hospital during March. I went there during March. I don't know exactly what day, but I know during that time.
Morning,
period,
David.
When were you released?
Honestly, I don't remember. It was like around March, probably like the end of March. I was in there for 8 straight days, but I was trying to get in contact with you so I can let you know where I was at.
Okay,
So I didn't
so
miss it, but soon, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
They wouldn't let me text.
we did have the correct email.
Get a little finky on your stinky.
The JR Pit 16 at gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay. The one file had an AOL or something I saw is what I.
Okay, but the
Please
domestic
AOL.
violence file, which is the case where he keeps, where the older case with more missed dates. We've had that JAYARPIP 16 at Gmail
Made it
since
sound that way, didn't it?
December.
Yeah. I was in there a whole 8 days straight.
And then I know you sent something to the court.
I promise you, I've only seen it twice, and I did it 2 times, and the third time I missed it because I was in the BC. And I promise you, you give me another court date, I promise you I will not miss it because that's not what I do. I don't want to miss
Okay,
it.
I can't do that. So on the
If you just
the
release
one
me
case
right
is
now.
a Judge Simpson case.
Oh.
On the one where you requested to have your warrant recalled, Judge Tabby did agree to reduce that bond. So now that amount is lower. It is
$10,000.
$5,000, 10%
Okay.
on that file, and the other one is also 5,000, 10%. So you need $1,000
Getting close.
in total.
It's getting there.
Let her throw on a 10K bond. It might get there.
That's the next available for Tabby is July 14th.
Can I ask you a question, Your Honor?
God, yes.
Absolutely.
Axe away.
I don't want to lose my job.
I know, Mr. Pippin. Yeah, I know.
Cool.
It's a lot going on the outside, and I will let you know, like,
Judge,
my
do you
dad
know
even tell
our
me what
Lord
happened
and
when I was in
Savior?
DC, and I really am trying to comply with
pastor.
everything you're telling me. And if you give me a new court date, I promise you, on everything I love, I will not miss it.
I can't.
I don't like missing court dates.
Mr. Pippin, we talked in length. It's Judge Tabby set that bond and she does not have the authority to change that 5,000 that we discussed.
So both of my bonds are at 500.
Look at this dude. He just came walking in, grabbed his crotch, sits up on the thing. How do you think that's going to go for him?
He had that first predicate, and now there were some charges after this case. And in addition to this case, misdemeanor wise, however, I think there's still a justification, at least for that exceptional downward. The state is just asking for a 1-day exceptional downward. And that's specifically so Mr. Ash can take advantage of some conversions from.
I like this
jail
camera. We
time.
can watch her
I don't-
type on that little
I
thing.
don't think a prison sentence is necessarily going to do anything more than what the jail sentence would in this case. And I think Mr. Ash serving the community would be.
He walks straight in like
It
he's,
would be
you know,
better spent than sending him to prison on this.
he is nothing but respect.
Yes, Your Honor.
Answer that phone next to you, gangsta.
Hello.
As you know, Mr. Ash was convicted of a vehicular assault about 20 years ago. A lot of times passed, and this is not meant at all to downplay on the seriousness of that crime. As I pointed out in my statement, Mr. Ash and I have had some very candid conversations, and he's shown great remorse for both those actions and the actions here. He's still at a bit of a loss as to how he put himself in this position, but at the same
hate
time,
to
he's accepted
bring down
responsibility.
the
He
moment.
knows he's looking at a prison term. He
I
knows
feel
he
like
can
this
chip him
is
off.
Mr. Pippin asking Judge Fink.
Because he's
Mr.
taking
Pippin, I've already given you more of a break than I'm able to. So.
As the state just pointed out, RCW
Sure, yeah, I'm sorry. I clicked the wrong
9.948.535, it provides a list of mitigating factors. The list is not exhaustive. However, I do believe provision K applies. While it specifically refers to vehicular homicide, because that list is not exhaustive, I believe the length of time going without a criminal conviction for close to 20 years, it should apply, and I believe the court has discretion to apply it to a vehicular assault charge as well. He was cited for, since he was arrested for this offense, he was cited for driving while suspended. It was amended down to a driving without a no.
I'm talking about this guy he's sitting next to,
Is
right?
not a criminal
Right
conviction.
here.
But for the most part, Your Honor, it's been 20 years and he's simply stayed out of trouble. He until this, obviously. But
Until now.
I do believe his actions on this day were an anomaly. This wasn't a pattern of behavior. He's been full-time employed with Oyhut Bay for almost 8 years now. He's a crew supervisor. As you can see by the character reference letters, he's active in his community. He's supportive. He lends a helping hand. He's a valued member of the community. And obviously, he also completed 26 weeks of alcohol outpatient treatment. He successfully completed it.
Charles him as a season.
Day maintains his sobriety, and he plans on doing everything in his power to do that.
Hi, Walter.
Walter, have a seat.
Since these charges, Your Honor, I can personally see it. My client's literally been sick. He's lost weight. He has been more than anxious to just be done with this and accept whatever penalty the court imposes. So for these reasons, because we believe the mitigating
He's lost weight.
W94A535.
Alex still calling him fat.
He's quit
And if not, the
masturbating.
court certainly has discretion to find that there are mitigating.
This man's a shadow of his former self.
We're asking the court to accept the agreed recommendation of an exceptional sentence downward. My client has made efforts to make arrangements for community service. I provided that to the court. I did, upon taking a closer look, Your Honor, I thought it was, when I first saw it, I thought it was a nonprofit associated with the cheer program. After
Titty Tuesday.
my
Oh, hell.
school. So I've explained to him it has to be a nonprofit. I can assist him. There's plenty of options. He's researched it. There's PAWS out there. There's some senior centers that are nonprofits.
Yeah, you never
But
know what
if
you're going to
this
get around
is
here.
not- and I'll look into it further. If this is the high school, he can certainly make arrangements for community service. So, Your Honor, he has a good career with his job. So we're asking for the exceptional sentence downward. We're asking that he receive jail time credit for successfully completing the 20.
Pretty much wants him to walk.
We're asking that 30 days be converted to 240 hours of community service. And we're also asking that Mr. Ash didn't want to put a number on it, and I agreed with him. We're asking the court to impose a jail sentence that it finds fit in its discretion. And then we're asking that the remaining time be converted to electronic home monitoring. This would allow him to continue to work. If it was scram monitoring, it would ensure he's maintaining sobriety.
Thank you.
But this would allow him to keep giving to the community, give back via community service, and keep his profession. He's a valued employee. But at the same time, as I've stated probably several times at this point, he's accepted responsibility. He's ready to accept.
Wouldn't it be funny if the judge says, nah?
And we're just asking
thank
that
you, Angela.
you adopt our recommendation and impose an amount of jail time that the court sees fit.
I got a feeling she was
Mr.
going to
Ash,
do that.
before I make
Or he.
a final decision regarding.
Come on,
sentence in your
Papa.
case, you have the right to address the court. Tell me anything you want me to consider. You're not obligated to speak, but you have the right to speak if you wish to do so. Now is your time.
You can take your mask off.
Why would you wear a mask if you go into prison? I mean,
I would just like to say that I'm truly sorry for, this happening. I feel
Well put.
it's hard to explain. I just this is going to affect several people, not just myself. I'm just I truly
I'm working
know
on that.
I really don't want to lose my job. I will do everything in my power to do anything that's given to me. I accept everything.
I missed what Vita Worship said.
I'm just
Must
really
have
sorry.
been good.
What
I got rid of one earlier.
would just like the court to know that.
So if you don't get it and you don't understand, you shouldn't be here. So it's easier to just block you and then you can just go.
I have given this case.
Have a seat.
You don't
as
fit
much
in
thought
here.
in terms of
You're an
sentence as any
outcast.
case I've
It's not the
handled
place for
for a very long time. I've read through everything very carefully. I've thought about it a lot, trying to decide what the appropriate sentence was. and
All that word
here's
salad
my
did
decision.
no good. Pawpaw gonna
I'm
bring the
going
hammer
to,
down.
Order an exceptional sentence downward. I'm going to order that Mr. Ash serve.
No, not yet, Shelley.
7 months, be sentenced to a term of 7 months in the Grace Harbor County Jail. I am going to give him credit for 6 months
that.
for the intensive outpatient treatment program that he completed. And I'm going to order that the remaining 30 days be converted to community service.
So 0.0 days in prison.
Community service for the work that you are intending to do for the North Beach High School cheer program. If that takes less than 240 hours, then you'll have some additional time you'll need to do.
Oh, Your Honor, 500 hours is fine.
I'll do all the time you need me to at the cheer.
I like high school
I understand the
cheerleaders.
North Beach cheer program probably doesn't qualify, but
Not me,
since
him.
it's so closely tied to the school, which would be an allowable community service agency, I'm going to allow him to perform community service for this program. I'm going to, you'll be on
Easiest
community
community
custody
service
for a
ever.
period of 12 months. That will require you to report to the Department of Corrections and find out what they're going to want you to do in terms of reporting. I'm guessing it will
Trust
be
me,
minimal.
Jim, we are.
There's a $500 victim assessment you'll need to pay. There's a $273 emergency response fee you'll be required to pay, and a $100 DNA collection fee. Other than that, I'm going to
Doing a hard time with the
the conditions requested by the prosecuting attorney in the sentencing statement filed by that office, which are not monetary in nature.
I mean,
Jordan, do you have a judgment and sentence?
Sounds
ready,
like the
or do
guy
you need
pretty
time
much
to
got
prepare
what
one?
they were
I
asking
have it
for.
ready, Your Honor. I've also prepared a findings and facts and conclusions of law for that exceptional downward for the court to consider, specifically outlining
Hello,
the
Jules.
provision in 535 that we discussed today that would allow for that exceptional downward in the event DOC has questions about that. That's outlined.
You say you've already prepared findings supporting a downward sentence?
I did,
Okay,
yes.
that's fine. Thank you very much.
And then the only other thing I have is whether we need to indicate on the order if the defendant is indigent or if we are considering him non-indigent at this point.
Well,
Not-
I'm not going
He's
to find
indigent.
him indigent, but I'm not going to impose
like
any
me.
other legal financial obligations other than those set forth in your sentencing statement.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
This guy loves his mustache
And
coaching
then,
comment.
I believe it will be necessary for Mr. Ash to walk over to the jail and provide them a DNA sample. It
Yes,
should just take a minute or two.
Sure, because it's
What do you
been
think
so
they mean
long
the
since his
DNA?
prior conviction. That's no issue at all, Your Honor. And one thing I would like to
I don't
inquire.
know.
of,
Apparently, they think you
we'll
might be
get
up to
on the
some other
community
tomfoolery
services
at some
as soon
point.
as possible, especially since there are no EHM restrictions. How long does he have to complete how long does he have to complete the community service?
12 months.
12 months, okay. I'll pencil that in. This
Means you basically don't make enough to.
Look at him. That guy's
hand
sitting there with his
240
fingers
hours
crossed.
in 12
Come
months.
on, snake eyes.
Okay.
Means when you're indigent, you don't have enough money to pay your
you
shit,
very much.
basically.
Okay. Thank you.
You don't have enough money to have a lawyer. You don't have enough money to
Thank
pay
you, Your Honor.
fine.
That's been provided to defense counsel.
All right,
State
this
of
dude's
Washington versus Carl Weber.
I got your Weber.
okay. Oh, I was thinking his dad made grills. If it's this dude, we'll stick around for just a second. I want to see.
No, it's this
Never
guy.
mind. Just saying.
Is this on? for
God,
pretrial
Glasgow looks
conference?
terrible.
It is, Your Honor. And I also filed a motion.
A motion to continue. You want to hire an expert.
Yes, well, yes, we have hired an expert and
But your expert needs more time to and is awaiting some information from the state patrol that may or may not be available for another couple of months.
Well,
By the way,
yeah,
you
so
look
we
at that
went through
guy
this
and look at this
before.
guy.
Judge Sabota signed up
707.
on a subpoena, so we received it, and I
beaut.
passed it off to
Rat
the
man.
expert. I just got off I spoke with her this morning. There was an estimated 8-week waiting period. However, she said many of her recent cases have settled. So she may be able to review everything next week and we could have a conversation within a couple of weeks. So we are still requesting the continuance. I'll need that because once she provides me information, I may need to inquire her to look further, and then there may be suppression issues. We're still looking into a resolution. But yes, we need time. So we're just asking for an August 8 review date. There's a speedy waiver on file. Speedy's waived through October 30th to give us plenty of time.
Ms. Thorne?
No objection, Your Honor.
We will strike. Is there a trial date set right now?
July 12th.
Okay. So we're going to strike that trial date, and then I'm going to put it on for status review with the intention of entering a new scheduling order.
How dare you?
Let's see. If I can find
That
the
baller life.
What's the second Monday in August?
I believe it's the 8th, Your Honor.
8th. Okay, Mr. Gamby, if I put this on for August 8th, do you believe you'll have sufficient information at that time to select another trial date?
Yeah, yes. I should know how we plan on proceeding, definitely, Your Honor.
All right, August 8th at 11:15.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, that's all, Mr. Weber, for today.
Damn it, Weber.
Well,
At least
that was
Mickey, Your Honor,
lackluster.
His eyebrows are A number one.
Washington versus Anthony George.
Are you Anthony?
Is there anyone present, either in court or on Zoom, who wishes to be heard regarding the motion to relieve Mr. George of the duty to register as a sex offender?
Ooh. Oh, no. Mr. George.
Yes, sir. This is Cynthia Cole.
Hi, Cynthia.
Okay.
I am Anthony George's daughter.
Well, are you an attorney?
No, sir. I'm not an attorney. We're doing this on our own because we tried to do it with an attorney back in 2017 and we didn't get nowhere.
Okay. Well, you're not allowed to represent Mr. George in this matter. So the matter is stricken.
He was supposed to be
Ma'am,
here. Oh,
ma'am,
sorry,
we're
Your Honor.
done. Ma'am,
thought he was-
we are done for today. Please mute this person. Thank you. State of Washington versus Gregory.
Damn.
Creedence. Is there anyone present who wishes to be heard regarding?
That was
motion
rude,
pending
wasn't
State
it?
Versus Gregory Krenz.
She
Have a
does.
seat.
So the daughter was going to talk
Your
on
name?
behalf of the dad who doesn't want to be a registered
Shannon Baker.
Yeah.
offender anymore.
Ms. Baker, I have reviewed.
I don't like
the,
which way that
uh,
was going.
Paper you filed, motion you filed, asking that the no contact order or protection order be lifted. And
I like
what
that.
I
He
can
said, we
tell you
tried
is
this
I'm
back
gonna
in
deny your motion.
2017 and
Today, I
didn't get
wouldn't
anywhere.
consider-
Well, guess what? You can add
given the history
2022
that
to
you
that
have with
list.
Mr. Krenz and the
We'll see you
level
in
of
2027.
abuse that was directed at you.
Try it
that has
again.
Mr. Krenz in custody right now. I don't think it is ever going to be safe for you to be around him, and I will not be a part of any process that allows that to happen. So your motion is denied, and you need not bring it again.
Damn.
State
Have
of
a nice day.
Washington versus John Latch.
That was two great ones right in a row. Papa just
Smashing the hits. Oh, you want to take it away so you can be around him, right?
Cases
Oh, I think he's a
22-1,
piece of
243-14, and
Never seen.
244-14. Jason Walker for the state. Your Honor, I received an email from Western State today. Mr. Latch, I thought he was on his second round, but he's on his third round of competency restoration. He's scheduled to be returned to us August 30. Miss Young, I ran into her. She's in district court right now. We agreed on a date of review of August 22nd. 8 days before his return date. So that should get us,
It's crazy.
if we need to
Nah, he's
continue
a
a week
lifer.
at that point, we still have time to have the hearing before his scheduled release date. So I have an agreed order.
All right, so you want to enter a scheduling order today, setting this on for review for the 22nd of August?
That's correct. I have an agreed order here. Ms. Young has signed it.
You may present your order.
Nice, Lord. Do the Lord's
State of
work.
Washington versus Daryl Barrier.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Daryl,
Uh-oh.
Your Honor.
this is your main event, ladies and gentlemen.
Shut him down. I should have shut him down.
Good morning, Mr. Barrier.
Your Honor.
Your attorney is
Fuck you,
present
Your
in
Honor.
court. This matter comes before the court today for an omnibus hearing. Mr. Arcuri,
Let's
are we
wait for
ready
that.
to proceed with omnibus today?
Well, Your Honor, we're hoping to reset this for 1 week for change of plea. And
No.
sentence. There seems to be, whatever prosecutor was prosecuting Mr. Barrier no longer works for the prosecutor's office, and it's been shuffled around. I know Mr. Barrier wants to get out, so hoping to just 1 week set over for change.
So he
of
can
plea.
continue with his life of crime.
Yes.
For the state?
That would be me, Your Honor, Miss Dorn. I received notification when Mr. Arcuri walked up here that this case was going to be on and that he was seeking a change of plea and sentencing next week. I'm more than happy to take over this case from Mr. Wimberly, who has gone back to Alaska.
So do you believe there has been an agreement reached regarding a plea?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. And you can be ready for sentencing next week?
All right, so
can.
they're
This
going to
is-
get ready to do that over to there. So I hate when that happens. He looked like a promising young fella.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Because obviously he's been there a while and, well, he just wants the truth out.
You can't handle the truth.
Coming up here at 4:05, 2 for Tuesday edition of We Got a Chase. So make sure to come back and see us for that.
Look at that haircut. I like it.
She's got that hair did.
Sassy. So sassy. Yeah, we got 2 for Tuesday. It's kind of a chill day where we only cover 2 chases. So we're not blowing your mind with so much at once. You just really can dig in deep. Enjoy what we have to offer, which is career criminal psychos.
Oh, 103 likes.
Wow, that is very good.
Very good. Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you guys for all the comments, the likes, the donos. Fact that Creed had enough common sense to just block a person rather than just make a big deal about it. See, I'm getting better because I just get railroaded and I just go off and say shit. So.
Look how much Creed has grown and how this court reporter is smoking. Hot. Until next time, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our We Got a Case only channel. We just started that over there. It's got over 200 people. I said 200, Creed. Subscribed. Won't you? Can of bread, everybody. Till next time, please remember.
Sometimes Creed says things that he shouldn't.
It happens. Just let it.